We're riding along with the LAPD during the morning rush hour. Officers looking for what they call bandit tow trucks.
This is obviously a bandit tow.
Ones that show up at traffic collisions, hoping to dupe crash victims out of thousands of dollars.
So what these guys will do is that if you get in an accident, they are monitoring the scanners and they respond to like calls of vehicle accidents.
Nigel Sherry's family got caught up in the scam.
These companies are just robbing you.
His teenage son was involved in a hit and run on a Friday night.
The car was drivable at the time, but something went wrong with the electronics and it just stalled out.
His son exited the freeway and was approached by a seemingly friendly man who said his uncle would tow his car for free.
But they said, yeah, we'll tow it for free, no problem. And that's when...
Free. That's a clue. What's free, right? I mean, who does that, right?
It was a nightmare. That's when the nightmare started.
Nigel says his car was towed to a storage lot 5 miles away, and when the tow operator opened back up on Monday, he told Nigel it would cost $2,300 to get his car back.
Not free.
Nigel tried to negotiate the price down, but the tower wouldn't budge. Instead, he filed to place a lien on Nigel's car. So Nigel finally paid the tower the $2,300 he demanded, all in cash.
So look, they use the process of a mechanic's lien, tow lien. There's a process out there you do through the DMV where like a mechanic or a tow yard, storage facility can put a lien on a vehicle in case they're not going to get paid for that, right? But these guys are abusing that process. And the story goes into it more. But first of all, do not take any tows that just show up at your crash scene and you didn't call them. If you didn't call them, do not use them. Well, the only ones I would use is if an officer tells you to use that tow.
It was a complete nightmare for us because we weren't sure if we were ever going to see the car again.
LAPD Lieutenant Scott Moffitt says he hears this story again and again.
These scams are particularly advanced in that they've been in the industry for a long time.
Tow truck operators are supposed to obtain permits from the city through the police commission. But Lieutenant Moffitt says bandit tow trucks operate without a permit and charge sky-high fees.
These tow trucks are not going to have the right numbers on them. Maybe not even have their license plates. They're supposed to have their CA number, their DOT numbers on the side. They're supposed to have all these, that permit. If you're in LA, whatever tow companies you use, make sure you take a lot of pictures, videotape these guys. If they don't want to be on video, then tell them they can't have the car, you know? But you got to be careful because it's not stealing a car. These people are giving these guys permission to take their cars, but they're getting scammed.
It's particularly brazen, but it just demonstrates there's a lot of money to be made here.
Lieutenant Moffitt showed us a bandit tow playing out. He said the guy in the reflective vest is called a spotter. He races to the scene after hearing about the accident on a police scanner. He tells the victim that he witnessed the crash and he'll help by working with their insurance company or AAA to arrange a tow. But what he'll really do is call a buddy, an unpermitted tower, who will tow the car and hold it hostage until the owner forks over thousands of dollars to get it back.
Okay, so these guys, what they've done is you're at the scene of an accident and you want your, all of a sudden this tow truck's going to show up, or some dude's going to show up and he's going to say he witnessed the accident, and it's total BS. Okay. He's going to say, I witnessed the accident. You're not at fault. I saw everything. I'm going to be a great witness for you. Hey, give me your phone number. And so I can get a hold of you, give me your phone number, right? And so you're thinking, great, I got this great witness. You're going to give this guy your phone number, but what he's going to do is he's going to take that phone number now and give it to his buddy with the scammy tow truck. And he's going to call you and say, hey, your OnStar called me, or Toyota Assistance called me, or Lexus such and such called me, or Tesla, whatever called me. And they told me about the accident. I'm on my way. Your insurance company, your vehicle, roadside service sent me, I'm on the way. And you're thinking, great, my connected car just hooked me up with this tow company. Awesome. No, it's that guy who said he was the witness. He's gave his scammer buddy your information to make you think it's a legitimate tow company. So you got to be really, really careful.
Lieutenant Moffitt says spotters and towers are slick and convince victims they're legit. And once a victim okays a tow, all that police can do is cite the tower a minimal amount for failing to have a permit.
There are instances.
Yeah, that's the deal right now. Right now, that's all they can do the basic officers, they can just cite them for not having a permit. Now, there are more qualified officers that specialize in commercial vehicles that can do a lot more. We'll get into that in a minute. But right now, the law is all they can do is be cited for unpermitted vehicle.
Is where we'll respond to these, and they're adamant they want this Bandit tow because they've just created that friendship in a very short amount of time.
These guys are really convincing. They're going to say that, you know, they're your new best friend, right? They're going to tell you the cops are wrong. The cops are going to screw you over. The cops don't even want to be there, to be honest with you. But I'm just saying you know, they're just trying to grab your car so they can go hold it hostage and then get thousands of dollars out of you 4 or 5, 6 days later. And they're not going to take credit cards. You're going to have to pay them cash. Okay. I know what you're thinking. Why do the cops go stop this? It becomes a civil thing. That's probably going to change in the future because of all this going down. But right now you just can't go and make the cops go get your car out. You're going to have to probably pay some money to get your car out.
In fact, that's exactly what happened at the next accident.
Right now, we're heading over to 59th and 8th Avenue for a traffic collision.
By the time we arrived, the spotter had already befriended the victim and called in a Bandit tow truck to haul away the victim's car.
These people are professionals at what they do, right? They understand that if they can gain your confidence, just like a typical con man.
So look at that car. That car looks like it's been totaled, right? I'm looking at front end damage that's going all the way up to the windshield there. Airbags out. In this case, the guy probably thinks his car's insured. Whatever tow company grabs it, he just lets his insurance company handle it. Okay, I guess you can do that. But again, these guys are unpermitted. They don't have permits. They're scammers. They're going to jack your insurance company up for way more than it should cost. And then that could reflect later on in your insurance bill.
If I can gain your confidence, I'm going to believe or make you believe that I'm doing you a service, right? And that's exactly what's happening here.
Lieutenant Moffat says Bandit tow trucks show up to accidents 90% of the time. So if you're in an accident, chances are you'll be approached by one.
That's if you live in the LA area and then the valley or somewhere in the city, you know, watch that. When an accident goes out, see what shows up. Record what tow trucks show up. Watch these interactions. These guys are chasing the police scanners around, and they get there before the cops ever do. And sometimes the cops don't show up till almost, you know, everything's cleared up.
The LAPD has this advice when a tower comes to the scene: ask to see their permit. It should be a blue form. Take a picture of that permit along with the tower himself and his license plate. Better yet, if there are police at the scene, ask them to help you arrange a legitimate tow instead. The
police have rotation lists of legitimate tow companies. These ones have been vetted. They have to work with the city or the county, state, whoever. They usually use what the local highway patrol office uses because the highway patrol goes through an extensive process to vet all the tow companies that they will recommend. And they have set rates that are set by those agencies, those governments, that can only be charged. So much to pick up the vehicle, depending on the type of vehicle, so much to tow the vehicle a certain distance, and then so much to, you know, charge per day. These scammers, they're going to come up with other figures they want, and it's going to be thousands of dollars, way more than it should be if you just had your car towed one day and pick up the next day. First of all, they're not going to give you your car back the next day. They're going to hide from you for 5 or 6 days so they can justify a $2,500, $3,000 tow bill.
They're just bandits. Look out.
Now, some insurance companies will cover the cost of these Bandit tows, but if you ask them to pay for it, your premium may go up, or they might even drop you when your policy is up for renewal. The insurance industry is fighting this scam as well, but they say it will take state legislation to put an end to it.
Yeah, this is a big deal. And so I was just at a meeting with a bunch of investigators in LA a couple months ago, and this was the whole issue, was these tow scams that are going on. So there are changes coming to this. I think, you know, the LA city attorney, the LA district attorney, state legislators are going to get involved. The highway patrol is leading the charge on this, trying to get the laws changed about what can be done. Now, if you ever seen one of these police officers like the highway patrol has them, they're driving pickup trucks with a shell on the back, with a bunch of tools in the back. Those are actually commercial officers, and they specialize in big trucks, tractor trailers, things like that, and tow trucks. Okay. So these guys, when they see these unpermitted tow trucks around, not only will they get them for not being permitted, but they'll get them from all sorts of equipment violations, things that they're not, supposed to be even driving around, because they're become such safety issues that these officers can pick these guys apart. They will actually impound their vehicles and take them away. But these are very specialized officers. I was a highway patrol officer. I knew the basics of this stuff, but there are guys that specialize in this. Any of the officers that work at the scales or driving on those pickup trucks, they specialize in these type of violations. And these are the officers that are leading the charge now in LA, training the other officers and the district attorneys, the city attorneys and stuff like that. They're getting the word out. So be careful. Like I have a daughter in college down in LA, and she's got a car down there. And I say, look, if you get an accident, don't trust any tow truck that shows up. You call me, call the cops, park the car. Don't let anyone tow it until you talk to me, and we'll figure it out. Make sure you videotape everybody, get them on video. If they don't want to be on video, sorry, you can't take my car, and make sure you know what you're signing. Just be careful. There's scammers out there, and they're going to scam you. And it's going to be a while before law enforcement can really work on this. Okay. So like, even if you had an air tag in your car, where it was at 5 days later, you go find it. Cops ain't going to go pull it out for you. They're not going to do it. It's a civil issue. You gave someone permission to take your vehicle. Doesn't mean they can legally charge you all that, but most people just want to get their car out. Most insurance companies want to get the car back, instead of doing this long fight. These are scammers. They're out there targeting people. Be careful.